Hey, welcome back. It's a Money Monday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco, and when it's Money Monday, we bring on the money guests. We don't just talk about money. We bring in the money men themselves. And kicking it off in the leadoff spot with Frankie and I today, it's Rich Valdes joining us again. Rich is the host of the This Is America podcast. He's also part of the production team for Mark Levin, one of my radio faves. And congratulations on filling in for the great one. So
thank you.
I'm one step removed from greatness because you filled in for the great one.
Never that. No. You're John Tobacco. You're still great. This is Liquid Lunch, and I'm super happy to be here with you guys. Happy New Year. And you guys called it Little Christmas, but it's in Puerto Rico, it's known as El Día de los Tres Reyes Magos, or Three Kings Day. So happy Three Kings Day to everybody.
That is correct. And the three kings brought the baby Jesus the gifts, right? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And many people use this day, as you can see, like we here at Liquid Lunch, to remove their Christmas tree, signaling the official end of the Christmas season.
What did we do with my ornament? The ornament with my face on it?
All the ornaments were collected, and they've been in safekeeping.
For next year.
We kept it around.
They've been moved to that special secured server where they kept the President Zelensky transcript.
Yeah, and Hillary's phones.
Yes, and her server.
So, Rich, we're talking earlier in the open about AOC lobbing some jabs in on Joe Biden. And, you have been rumored, or at least, told us that you were considering getting in the race. First, any update on that? Are considerations deepening? Or?
Yeah, we're definitely making a decision really soon on how we're going to stop the onslaught of socialism that she's bringing into the district and honestly to the country and to the Democratic Party. And we've seen some uprising from Democrats that want to run against her. But we have to really focus because there may not be a 14th district. There may be redistricting coming because of her own political
so that can cause a lot of dominoes to start falling all around, and she could be like a bull in a china shop with her own party on that, trying to find where her spot is. She already is a bull in a china shop. But talk to me about impeachment. I want you to take a look at this clip of David Petraeus. Okay, let's talk about the killing in Iran first, which I think is a great move. Let's take a look at what Petraeus is saying about deterrence, where all the Democrats.
Pompeo on this program say that it is entirely consistent for the President of the United States to threaten to bomb Iran, 52 sites specifically, that it's consistent with trying to de-escalate. Is that credible?
Well, first of all, I think
certainly doesn't sound it.
What has happened here, I think, is frankly that we lost the element of deterrence, the component of deterrence that was seen as American will. Our drone, $130 million drone, was shot down, did nothing significant in response. 5% of the world's oil production taken out of operation. Numerous attacks on shipping, and then attacks on our forces, ultimately, of course, killing an American and wounding 4 of our soldiers.
Well, Rich, what say you? I mean, I think Petraeus is right on the money.
Yeah, I agree. I think, look, and I said it when the drone happened, I was really taken aback that the Rand Paul, never have a war, wing of the party, took it lying down. The United States took it on the chin that day. We lost a lot of whatever military respect we had from our enemies, and I think we gained it back on Friday.
I know Frankie's been let's bring Frankie in on this debate for a minute, because he's been way against any action against Iran. He made a pretty impassioned case last week.
I don't want to say I'm against any action on Iran. I think that when you assassinate one of the top military leaders of a sovereign foreign country, that is something that's an act of war. And I don't know that one, is going to be in the best interest of American security. And two, I don't know that if it should have happened without, some sort of an auzation of use of force from Congress.
You see now.
Well, I'm just going to jump in.
Now you want to know why we had to move him over there.
Exactly.
Well, that's because his computer's only getting the Democrat talking points. But the reality is, look, these people on the 19th of December, there was. You want to talk about assassinations? They killed an American with a rocket attack. Then a couple of days later, then we go into the 27th, where they, when they did.
It's been a tit for tat.
It's back and forth, right? And I'm drawing a blank on the embassy.
Embassy.
Right, so then we keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we come back, and now we take out their top guy. That sounds pretty fair to me.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at previous military action that previous administrations have taken. This isn't a war. This wasn't troops. This was a drone strike. To go to Congress for a drone strike just doesn't seem like it's been consistent with the precedent we've set.
Here's the part I don't hear on any other news channels. They're calling him, this political leader in an act of war. Here's a military general in the theater, because we know Iran's proxy forces were the ones that were causing this uprising at the embassy. Here's their general leading forces in an attack against the U.S., and now he's hightailing it to the airport to get out of town quick, and we zap him.
Yeah.
If you're going to tell me if David Petraeus went into any Mideast country and led an attack of U.S. militant forces against another embassy, if they could get a shot at Petraeus, they'd take him out in 2 seconds. Every
question, and it would be a huge trophy for them.
That's right.
So I think, the fact that we have a new sheriff in town, and thank God he's put Rand Paul on mute, and hopefully he hit up John Bolton real quick and was like, hey, John, what would you do? And I hope he got some good advice. We took out this guy, and hopefully it's the end. And if it's not, there's a lot more for them. This can be like Hiroshima.
Rand Paul makes some good points, and Donald Trump did go, a big part of his campaign was to bring our troops home, make America first, keep America safe. So we don't like seeing more deployments, but sometimes you got to put your foot down and show them.
Listen, I mean, everybody that I know, my brother served in the Marines. I myself signed up. You do that with the intention of knowing you're going to serve and you're likely going to fight. So there is really, to me, it's not. Nobody gets drafted. Nobody in my lifetime, and maybe in yours. I don't know. I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think
that outdates all of us. So people are fighting because they want to fight.
Let me shift gears and talk about what's happening here on the home front. And it seems like Pelosi's caught now. She doesn't know what to do. She's got this vote. If she turns it over, the Republicans are going to have a vote and dismiss the whole thing, and then it's done. The whole theater's over. Take a look at what Lindsey Graham had to say about this. He was awesome this weekend, especially on the Iran thing, too. But here's Lindsey Graham.
We are waiting on Nancy Pelosi to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. What are you expecting in the way of a Senate impeachment trial this week or next week?
Well, I hope to have the trial over by the end of January. We'd use the Clinton model, where you take the record established in the House, let the House managers appointed by Pelosi make the argument, let the president make his argument, so why the two articles are flawed, and then we'll decide whether or not we want witnesses, but this should be done in a couple of weeks. I find it a political stunt for Nancy Pelosi not to send the articles over.
What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I think Josh Hawley made a comment that he was going to introduce a measure today along those lines about dismissal, saying that if this were the real world, you would have to dismiss this for lack of prosecution. Now, of course, it's not a criminal proceeding, and I get that. But the reality of everything, to me, seems we should just play by the rules that we have. And Nancy Pelosi's become an expert at bending and breaking those rules.
I cannot believe the way she has fumbled this whole thing. She got forced into it. If she waited one more day, he would have released the transcript. They wouldn't have came up with these bogus charges. Now she took a vote, made a whole bunch of her freshman congressmen get knocked all around now in their re-election bid, and now she doesn't want to turn it over. I think they should just call for a dismissal. We got the power now, Rich,
I would love for that to happen, because it's really history in the making, and it's uncharted constitutional territory. So I think for nothing else, it would be great to see how this ends up, because this can happen again, and we don't want this to be their play for the future, that if we don't like you, we don't like your politics, we're going to impeach you, and we'll make something up along the way to make sure that we can impeach you.
Hey, thanks to Rich Valdes for coming down and joining us, giving us some insights on AOC, impeachment, Iran, and all that good stuff. Check out Rich. You can find him in all the places you get your podcasts on the This Is America podcast, and from time to time heard on Westwood Radio across the entire country. Rich Valdes, thanks so much.
Thank you, John. My pleasure.
Thank you for being here on a Monday, but don't go anywhere. Stay right there. More Liquid Lunch right after this.